Today I'm very pleased to introduce a fellow podcaster, Richard from Arsenal TV, and you can find his channel on YouTube. Now, Richard, what did you make of the game against Stoke?
Poor, very, very poor. Our defence was literally all over the place. Even with Ramsey in the second half, he was out of position, he was going up to the forward. I don't really think that the back three was organised enough. We didn't really play as much as a unit. I think the only player that probably stood out to me during the game was most probably Lacazette and Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain.
Yeah, I think Lacazette was quite unlucky.
Yeah, to be honest, I even looked over the replay after, and when the referee said when the linesman said it was offside, I was like, are you seriously having a laugh? It's nowhere near offside. But if he actually saw that it might have been an inch offside, then the linesman got bleeding better eyes than everybody else.
Yeah. So what do you think the problem is at Arsenal generally? What do you think?
Stan Kroenke is Arsenal's main problem.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put the blame on Arsene Wenger because all the players also have a part to blame as well. I know we've had the whole situation with Wenger in and Wenger out. I've always been a Wenger out, to be honest. But I don't think Arsene Wenger is the main problem at Arsenal. I think Stan Kroenke is our biggest problem. We need to kick him out of our club.
Yeah. I mean, because
Yeah, but I do think that Stan Kroenke is our main problem.
Yeah. Well, I've always said that if we get rid of Wenger, then the people who are in charge of appointing a new manager, they'll basically make a
To be honest, I've always suggested if Arsene Wenger goes, then I reckon Simeone should take over, or Allegri.
Yeah.
I think those are the two managers that would be ideal for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Do you think
because it seems to me that Arsene Wenger is holding the club for ransom. It's like a marriage. It's like your missus is cheating on you, but you still stay in the marriage.
Yeah, I agree.
He doesn't want to pass the reins to someone else. I think that Arsene Wenger has only took the club to as far as he can go, and he can't push him no further to what he's already done.
Do you think though that we've sorry, it's Robbie speaking. Do you think though that we've because I'd like Stan Kroenke to leave as well, and I honestly believe that if you were to put a different manager in, like an Allegri or somebody like that with Kroenke in charge, the situation we'll have with Sanchez last day of the transfer window, if Stan Kroenke sees £60 million floating out the door versus someone putting a bid in and saying here's £60 million. Stan Kroenke would make Arsene Wenger, and it wouldn't matter if it was Wenger or Allegri, that Stan Kroenke would make the manager sell Alex Sanchez if the money was right on transfer deadline day.
Well, we know with Stan Kroenke all over, money's everything to him, because he's got ranches over in America. So, to be honest, the way I'm looking at it, it's like we're getting the other teams like Man United and Chelsea. They're all saying that when they say you want to be a big club, don't sell your biggest players. But then soon as they say Alexis Sanchez is going to go, £60 million, cash him in. What the hell? You're telling us that you want us to keep up players, now you're telling us to sell him. Cash in while we can.
It's interesting. We've got Darren here, and he loves Arsenal and Arsene Wenger, but also he doesn't mind Stan Kroenke, do you, Darren?
He's a nice man, Stan.
Don't get me wrong, he seems to be a nice person, but at the end of the day, he knows nothing about football.
Yeah.
He knows absolutely nothing about football. He seems to be taking our club downhill. I had a feeling that when he came in to the club, I had the feeling if he's going to do what he's been doing with all these other teams over in America, I knew for a fact that we wouldn't qualify for Champions League. I knew it would come at some point.
Do you think that was a long time coming, or do you think?
Yeah, I think it was definitely a long time coming. Definitely.
And in terms of this season, obviously last season the guys were saying about success. We're successful because we won the FA Cup, so therefore it's a success. We finished fifth.
don't get me wrong, we won the FA Cup. We still ended on a positive note, but at the end of the day, an FA Cup is an FA Cup. We want the bigger trophies. We want the Premier League. We want the Champions League.
But do you think then, in terms of where people are saying, "Oh, but Wenger's successful," therefore, if we finish fifth again, but we win the Europa League or we win the FA Cup, that's still successful because it's a trophy. So we can stay out of Champions League football maybe for 15, 20 years as long as we get a cup at the end of it. People are saying that's success, so therefore we don't worry about Champions League anymore.
In my eyes, the way we look at it, we are pretty much the only one of the top teams in the Premier League that hasn't even won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Controversial.
So personally, that's basically what I think. I personally think that we are the only team in the league that hasn't even won the Champions League. Chelsea has, Liverpool has. So, yeah, I am. So yeah, that's what I think anyway.
Yeah. And do you think realistically that even if we gave Arsene Wenger £2 billion to spend on players, do you think Wenger could win us the Champions League? If money was unlimited.
Well, at the end of, it's Arsene Wenger at the end of the day. I don't know who he's going to bring in. I reckon there's still a lot of players at Arsenal that do need to go.
Who do you think needs to go?
Players that I think need to go. I'm trying to think. I know quite a few players off the top of my head.
Like Walcott, for example.
To be honest, Walcott has scored a few goals here and there, but I don't think he hasn't really done much in the last 10 years.
No. A lot was expected of him.
Yeah, and to be honest, for what I read, that I know Barcelona are actually trying to get hold of Walcott from us, so...
Really?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It might be just a rumour, I'm not absolutely sure, but...
Yeah, I mean, Robbie, who do you think?
I mean, yeah, Walcott could go. What do you reckon, Rich? What do you reckon about Welbeck? Would you keep Welbeck?
I would see. This is the problem that I've got with Welbeck, is that he's got everything going towards goal, but then soon as he gets that goal, he seems like he can't score.
Yeah, I've always said the same thing. Actually.
Yeah, that's how he's been for the past 2 games.
Yeah.
And we've got Darren here. Darren's a big Welbeck fan. What do you think of Welbeck, Darren?
I think he's a great player, and we should keep him.
Are you worried about his lack of goals, though, Darren?
I think that will come. He must score eventually.
Well, he has been quite unlucky with injuries, but
yeah,
I suppose you can say that.
Do you think that, Rich? Do you think it's the injuries with Welbeck and getting back into form?
To be honest, I do think the injuries is going to be the main cause of it. But when you're in football training for pre-season, they train you for how not to get injured.
Yeah.
During the season, but anything can happen in the match. If you get injured, you get injured. That's not your fault. But I do think that the injuries has set Danny Welbeck back.
He's done well for England when he's played.
Yeah, a long time.
I'm not going to disagree with that. He has played well for England, but it's just like Aaron Ramsey. It's like when he goes and plays for Wales, he plays completely different. Yeah. And as soon as he comes to Arsenal, it's like it's not the same player.
Yeah.
There's another player who's been unlucky with injuries as well. Aaron Ramsey has had some horrific injury problems.
Yeah. So the Ramsey injury was horrible.
Yeah, I think that really set his career back.
Yeah, even Diaby. I mean, that's one of the things we had some real bad luck with injuries. I mean, when Diaby had a horrific injury as well. And then obviously Eduardo. So we had 3 players, 3 very, very promising players. Yeah.
To be honest, there was one player for Arsenal that I thought was actually pretty good and decent, was Carlos Vela.
Yeah, he was.
I actually thought he was quite a decent player.
Right.
He was very promising when he was a youngster. He played in the.
Yeah. He was very, very promising.
Yeah.
And what do you think that is then? Why do we get so many really promising youngsters? Everyone's talking about them. Everyone's tweeting about them. Everyone's got them on their Facebook. They're going to be the new big thing. And then nothing happens. What do you think is that? Do you think that's a coaching thing, or do you just think it's just hype? And actually, everyone's hype nowadays. You never know. Or do you think that we just can't bring them on the final hurdle?
I just don't think we can bring him onto the final hurdle, to be honest. It could be a coaching issue as well. It is a possibility. It could be also a coaching issue.
Right. That's interesting. It's because it's one of these things, with John Torrell today. He signed for Hull City for £3 million. And, when we got him, everyone was, Torrell, he's going to be unbelievable. Lad's got a really bright future. But we've seen in the last week, Carl Jenkinson gone to Birmingham City. We've seen Cohen.
To be honest, I thought
Cohen Bramwell as well.
Yeah, the only person who I thought played well, the two players that I thought played well during pre-season was Reece Nelson and Chambers. Callum Chambers. I thought those two players actually played well in pre-season, and I'm actually surprised that Arsenal is actually going to let Callum Chambers go.
Is he going to let Callum Chambers go? Because if he's letting Mustafi go, we're short on defenders. Gabriel's been sold. Chambers might be. Is he the guy to fill in? And would you want him to fill in for Mustafi without Gabriel being there? I mean, that's a game of Russian roulette, isn't it? Really, by Wenger?
Yeah, it is, because we've kind of. I know we've got Rob Holding, and he's still young. He's learning the trade still, and not just that. We've got Mertesacker, which is his last season as well. So we are definitely still going to be short on defenders. And this is where now Arsene Wenger needs to pull out his finger within the next 8-7 days that we've got left in the transfer window. We need to go and get the players that we need and stop getting the silly players that we don't need.
Yeah.
So what players do you think, if we were going to say to you, right, there's three players, three positions we were weak, which three would those be for you?
Defence would be one of them. I'll say we need someone for Laurent Koscielny, because obviously he's 32. He's had injury problems as well. So I would say we need a centre back. We need someone in a defensive midfield role. And I don't think we really need another winger, to be honest. We don't need another striker. I think our defence is the main problem.
Yeah.
Personally, I think our defence, and I wouldn't say I'll say midfield, but we do need someone to take over Santi Cazzola's place, because we don't know when he's going to be back.
No.
Yeah, if ever. He might never come back to
Yeah, exactly. He might never be able to play again, which I'm a bit disappointed in that, because he's such a good player.
Yeah.
Yeah, we really missed him, I think.
Yeah, we really have missed him. Even Sanchez for the past 2 games, we've missed him. Against the Leicester game and plus against Stoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sanchez is the player that we're missing. So if Arsene Wenger brings him on for the Liverpool game, then having Lacazette and Ozil and Sanchez up front, I don't think Arsenal can go wrong. Especially up front, I don't think we can go wrong.
No.
So Lacazette, Ozil and Sanchez across the front three. And then who would you have then? Who would you have in the 2 players would you have in the midfield?
Would be El Neni and Xhaka.
El Neni and Xhaka.
Yeah, because I know El Neni has had a lot of criticism, but when he's on his day, he has a brilliant link up play with Granit Xhaka. They've got a good partnership. So is Ramsey, but I just think El Neni he just gives that something a little bit different to what Aaron Ramsey does.
Right.
Yeah.
And then so who's your left wing back and your right wing back?
Okay, left wing back. I will go with C. Klejanek, and then I would have Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain on the right.
Right, and then your 3 centre backs.
Centre backs: Rob Holding, Pert Mertesacker, and Laurent Koscielny.
Cool, and then in goal,
David Ospina.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, because ever since Czech has been on, he's conceded so many goals for Arsenal, and I think, even though we've got Jens Lehmann as the coaching staff, I still think there's still something not right. Because why, if we've got a coaching staff that's been with the Invincibles, why is Petr Cech still conceding goals. It might be because his age, or maybe he hasn't got his actual coach that he had at Chelsea. So, I don't know. I just think because David Ospina is younger, and he doesn't really concede that many goals.
Interesting. I would have thought not many people would have put Ospina. Darren, what do you think of that? Ospina or Cech?
I think we've got to go with Cech. He's,
See, I think this is where people will go with Cech because of experience.
Yeah. Do you say about him conceding goals? Do you think some of that is maybe the defence is letting him down?
Yeah, see, the way I've looked at it last season is like when Ospina is in goal, the defence was like, right, we need to help him. We need to get that ball away from goal. But then as soon as Cech goes in goal, it seems to me that the defenders act differently. They're like, oh, he's alright, he's experienced, we don't need to help him as much.
Yeah, that could be it actually.
So, shouldn't it, is the way Arsene Wenger and the coaching staff should see it, they should say, right, if you can do the same for that player, you can also go and do the same for the other player as well.
Yeah.
It should be equal.
Yeah.
Well, I think we'll beat Liverpool and the table will look a lot different then. We'll all be happy.
Yeah.
What do you think? And what's your score? Rich, give us your score.
My score for the Liverpool game. Do you know what? To be honest, I'm not gonna for the amount of games that Liverpool and Arsenal have had over the past few years as well. It hasn't been easy. I'm not just like when we played against Liverpool when Liverpool was 4-0 up and Arshavin scored 4 goals to get us back into the game. I still remember that game now at Anfield.
Yeah.
I know Liverpool won the other night. They won 6-3 on aggregate. Arsenal, on the other hand, we lost to Stoke. We managed to win against. I say managed. We did. They made us work hard for that. I'm going to say 3-1 Arsenal.
Wow.
Yeah. That's
a brave shout. Darren?
Yeah, but the way I'm looking at it is that the squad has to be right. It has to be right, and they have to come out firing.
Yeah, 3-1.
If they don't, then Liverpool's going to hit us on the front foot.
Yeah, that's what I'm worried about, and it all comes down to the defence.
And Darren, you said 3-1 as well.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
So Richard, we got you and
3-1.
Darren both say 3-1. Max, what score?
I'm going to be a bit pessimistic and say we'll get a draw, 1-1. I'd say.
See, at one point I would have said a draw, but then I'm thinking, well, if Arsenal can score 4 goals against Leicester, then we can damn sure do it against Liverpool.
Yeah.
So it's either going to be a draw or it's going to be 3-1. But I'm going to say 3-1 Arsenal.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you said 1-0 Max.
Yeah.
I'm going to go for 3-2 Arsenal.
3-2 to Arsenal.
Yeah.
Right.
You watch now. 2 of you have said 3-1. It'll be 3-1.
I'm definitely going to be watching that game because it's going to be an interesting game because Liverpool don't know if Coutinho is even going to stay at Liverpool.
Yeah.
They don't even know if he's going to go to Barcelona yet. Mm-hmm. So if they do let him go, then Liverpool are idiots because I think Coutinho is a fantastic player. He's been one of their key players.
Yeah, me too. So skillful.
Darren loves him, don't you, Darren?
Well, yeah, I do. I think he's really good.
Yeah, thanks, Darren.
Thanks, Darren.
Yeah, so...
Okay, Rich, that's... Hello, you still there, Richard?
Yeah, I'm still here, sorry, yeah.
So that's it, mate. Basically, we'll wrap this up. 20 minutes, we've recorded for 20 minutes, so that's how long we're going to put the section in. So thank you ever so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Thank you, Richard. That was.
Thank you very much. If you ever do want me to come back on it, then just give us a shout. I'm always available.
Yeah, that'd be great, Richard.
Thank you very much.
That's cool.
Have a good evening.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.